gentle ledger. Today is Monday, February 2nd, 2026, and the market feels like the first deep breath after a long exhale, deliberate, refreshing, and quietly restored. Now, let's turn softly to the U.S. indexes, where markets rebounded with purpose at the start of the new month. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed about plus 1.1% to around 49,407.66, lifted by broad gains across industrials and cyclical names. The S&P 500 rose plus 0.5% to finish near 6,976.44. Snapping a recent losing streak and closing just below this week's record levels. The Nasdaq Composite added about plus 0.6%, ending near 23,592.11 as technology and growth stocks participated in the recovery. Even the Russell 2000, a barometer of smaller companies, marched higher, closing roughly plus 1.0% to 2,640.28, signaling risk appetite returning after recent volatility. These moves carried a sense of resolution rather than urgency, a gentle rebalancing of confidence. Gently moving into the corporate highlights, individual names told a story of selective leadership through clear percentage gains and retreats. SanDisk stands out among the risers, surging about plus 15.4% as demand linked to artificial intelligence. Data storage continued to attract buying interest. Advanced micro devices climbed approximately plus 4.0%, and Micron Technology added about plus 5.5%, reflecting optimism around chipmakers tied to AI infrastructure demand. In phone and internet services, Alphabet rose about plus 1.9% to a record high, while Amazon added roughly plus 1.5%. Both companies buoyed by investor anticipation ahead of upcoming quarterly results. Meanwhile, Palantir Technologies advanced around plus 0.8% ahead of its earnings release after the bell, embodying that quiet confidence in data and AI services. These individual moves helped carry broader indexes higher today, as investors rotated toward selective strength and growth narratives. Overseas, in Asia and Europe, the market mood reflected this constructive but cautious tone. Asian markets showed mixed results as traders absorbed overnight volatility in commodities and currency moves. South Korea's Kospi saw notable weakness, while Japan and other major benchmarks held narrower ranges. In Europe, indexes such as the FTSE 100, DAX, and StoxX 600 moved higher, buoyed by gains in financials and energy stocks that helped offset pressure elsewhere. This global rhythm suggested a shared willingness to engage risk selectively without abandoning caution. In commodities and bonds, the story unfolded with quieter intensity beneath the surface. Gold and silver remained bearish after recent steep declines, with precious metals prices continuing their correction from recent peaks, even as equities rebounded. Oil prices softened, pressured by eased geopolitical tension and broader risk-off flows, while U.S. 10-year Treasury yields climbed modestly toward 4.28%, reflecting a market now pricing constructive growth data and stabilizing expectations. This interplay spoke to a world where markets were striking balance between optimism and caution. Turning now to the newer corners of finance, in crypto land, the tone was steady and quietly positive. Bitcoin rose modestly, reflecting broader risk appetite after a weekend of volatility, while Ethereum climbed in step. Digital assets today felt less reactive and more connected to the broader market's re-engagement with risk, moving not as an outlier but as part of the collective narrative. As the day settles into evening, let's rest in the reflective summary and outlook. Today's session felt like a careful return. Indexes rising with selective leadership, corporate themes reinforcing broader risk re-entry, and markets choosing balance over bravado. It was not a leap toward certainty, but a thoughtful step into clarity. Tonight, let this balanced rhythm carry you into rest, calm, attentive, and gently grounded. Good night.